Are you getting ready to take the Praxis Geography exam? This is test code 5921. If this is a test that you need to pass, then I think I can help. My name is Fiona, and I'm a certified teacher and a test prep expert with study.com. In this video, I'm going to help you by walking you through the information that you need to know to feel confident and prepared on exam day. We are going to review key elements that are on the test, how to prepare for it, and 5 top tips for taking the test so that you will be successful. Let's get started. This test examines whether you know and understand what and how to teach in alignment with the specifications created by the Geography Educational National Implementation Project and its member organizations' National Geography Standards. Praxis 5921 tests whether you have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to teach as a specialist in geography at the secondary level. You will answer questions from 5 areas. One is human geography, which takes up about 25% or 30 questions. Then we have 3 areas which each take up roughly 20% or 24 questions. These include geography, literacy and tools, physical geography, and environment and society. Then we have the smallest number of questions, which are in regional geography, which takes up about 15% or 18 questions total. Each subsequent category may include topics covered previously. Now be sure to check out our channel for videos that go into a lot more detail for each topic and subtopic. In these videos, test prep experts review sample problems step by step, so you will have a better understanding of the types of questions you can expect to find on the actual exam. How many questions? There are 120 selected response questions. In other words, multiple choice questions. Some questions will have the possibility of 1 or more correct answers amongst the options. You can identify these by the phrase, "Select all that apply." And this is where I want to give you the first 2 of my top test-taking tips, which are to read these questions thoroughly, and another is to read through all the answer options before making your final decision. The easiest way to make a careless mistake is to misread the question or choose the first answer that looks right. Make sure you thoroughly understand what is being asked and have considered each answer choice before you select an answer. Here's an example. Which of the following energy resources has the largest remaining amount of proven reserves? Natural gas, wood, petroleum, or coal? If you're working too quickly, it could be easy to misread this question and select the smallest reserves. How long is the test? The total available time is 2 hours or 120 minutes. This means you have 1 minute per question. Here is where my test-taking top tip number 3 comes in, which is to aim for 45 to 50 seconds per question, which will give you a buffer for questions that may require more thought. Plus, it will leave you with time to review at the end. Top tip number 4, avoid overthinking questions you are unsure about. Move on so you don't lose time. In the example we just looked at, you need to remember a very specific fact. If you don't remember it, just guess and move on. Save your time for the questions that come later. How is the test delivered? You'll be taking this test on a computer. You can sit the exam at a test center or at home with online proctoring. There may be some questions on the exam that will not be counted in your final score. They are used for research purposes only. But you won't know if the question counts or not, so just assume that every question counts. This brings me to my final top tip, which is to watch your time. The best way to ensure you stay on target is to do timed practice. This will help you get used to how long you have for each question. The questions on the test will establish whether you are familiar with major geography theories, whether you have the necessary knowledge in all content areas, as well as their interconnectivity, and if you could teach this content in a classroom. As I mentioned, there are 5 main areas on the exam. Let's delve into each of these categories more closely. These descriptions are not exhaustive. Further information on every topic is covered in Study.com's prep course and question bank. The first category is Geography Literacy and Tools. You could be tested on your knowledge of maps, theories of distribution, the application of geographic theories to current events, your understanding of the purpose of geographic tools for the interpretation of the past, present, and projections for the future, as well as your knowledge of technology to analyze and apply geographic theories and concepts. Here is a sample question. What is the primary purpose of a topographic map? To display all points of equal surface temperature, to illustrate all points of equal precipitation, to connect all points of equal atmospheric pressure, or to represent all points of equal elevation. The second category is physical geography. Here you may be tested on how natural elements affect weather and climate, including the associated terminology, your ability to identify and locate biomes and ecosystems, your knowledge of tectonic processes and their effect on the physical environment, and your familiarity with the hydrologic cycle. Here's an example question about climate. Why does Seattle, compared to other cities at the same latitude, experience milder winters and cooler summers? The city's high elevation moderates temperature extremes. Mountain ranges to the east of Seattle block cold winds from the Arctic. The North Pacific Current brings relatively warm waters to Seattle, moderating the climate. Or Seattle generates its own local climate due to its small landmass. Next is human geography, where you will find questions regarding the variety of human and spatial patterns in different populations, your comprehension of internal and international movements of peoples, your ability to identify aspects of rural and urban settlements, the development of agriculture, your knowledge of the effect of technology on and the industrialization of farming, your understanding of recent international conflicts and cooperations, changing economic patterns, and the roles of major metropolises in globalization. Here's an example about the effect of climate change on people. The increasing scarcity of water in the Middle East in recent years may have a significant negative effect on which of the following? Technological advancements, agricultural productivity, tourism, or wildlife conservation efforts. You will move on to regional geography, where you will likely come across questions about the classification and identification of regions according to human characteristics such as language and religion, or physical features such as climate and topography, in addition to your ability to identify significant regions in the world and within the United States. Here's an example where you have to recognize which countries belong to the same region. Which of the following sets of countries are contained within the same geographic region? Canada, Mexico, Brazil, and Argentina. Germany, France, Italy, and Spain. Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and Thailand. Or Egypt, South Africa, Brazil, and Morocco. The final category is the environment and society, where you will be expected to demonstrate a clear understanding of how humans' decision-making and activities affect the environment, as well as the interactions between these two systems, the hazards posed by and on the physical environment, and your ability to compare renewable and non-renewable resources. Here's an example question related to how the environment influences human activity. Which of the following environmental phenomena significantly influences the agricultural practices in the Nile River Valley? Monsoon rains, tornado occurrences, annual flooding, or tsunami threats. So how do you prepare? I recommend starting with a full-length practice test. Study.com's test prep course offers several. In this way, you can identify your strengths and weaknesses, so you know where to focus the most time. Don't worry about your scores on these prep tests. They are simply for the purpose of finding out what you need to work on. So please don't feel discouraged. It's part of the process. With the Study.com course, we will auto-generate an individualized study plan just for you. If you do use other test prep methods, you will likely have to do the analysis of your practice tests manually. Watch Study.com's lesson to review the topics in your study plan and do practice problems. I am personally a fan of flashcards as they are versatile, portable, and most importantly, effective, especially for fact-based exams like Praxis 5921. But my top tips for studying is really very simple. Review, practice, repeat. And don't forget my 5 top tips for test-taking success. First, read each question thoroughly. Next, read all of the answers before settling on your final answer. Then aim for 45 to 50 seconds per question to give yourself a buffer. Also, avoid overthinking questions when you're uncertain. Move on to the next one so you don't lose time. You can always go back. And finally, watch your time. If you are looking for solid test prep in order to understand the skills and content on the exam, as well as the structure of the actual exam, then Study.com offers an excellent Praxis 5921 Geography Test Prep course, and I highly recommend it. The course covers everything that I've summarized here, and it goes into far greater detail. This course is written and vetted by teachers and experts and includes short-form videos for every relevant concept. Additionally, there is a bank of high-quality practice questions with detailed answers included and multiple practice tests. Most importantly, there is a 92% pass rate for those who have completed the course. I hope I was able to give you a good idea of the concepts and theories you can expect to find on the actual exam. If this video helped you, please check out some of the other videos in this and other series for more Praxis test prep. Please like and subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button so you won't miss any new videos when they drop. If there are any specific tests or questions that you would like us to review, please let us know in the comments below and we will get to them as soon as possible. Finally, once you've passed Praxis 5921, please leave a note in the comments so we can all celebrate your success. Good luck!